Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today's second video, doing USA forecast today's second video. So as was on Wednesday, have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days in the United States. I should get on with that for you very shortly. Just say that first video today was our quick 7 AM upload. Have a look at weather next few days. We're going to have the GMA seasonal update for you. Look at that GMA seasonal as our next video, and then a 10 to 14 day. It's a busy day at GavsWeatherVids today, so if you enjoy the content, please like, share, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think. Right, let's get on with it then. Going to start off with the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for New York City. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for New York, and we're going to be starting off a little bit above average actually today. But temperatures are on the slide, and overall it looks like we're in for a pretty cold couple of weeks, actually, in New York and across many parts of America as well. This is going to be turning into quite a cold second half to April, at least cold to average anyway, with cold and average temperatures for New York, and quite indicative of most parts of the states, actually. More or less from beginning to end, so more or less throughout the whole of the second half of April, below average. As far as precipitation is concerned, there is regular precipitation spikes as well. So this is obviously an active cold front that's pushing through here, bringing this area of wet weather and the drop in the temperature as well. I mean, after that, it just looks rather showery, so regular bouts of precipitation coming through. And I do say precipitation because some of that could be rain. Some of it, though, probably could be snow, especially if we sort of go down between -5 and -10 at 850 kph. It certainly looks like it's a delayed spring for this second half of April across many parts of America. Look at this temperature anomaly from the 14th to the 22nd of April. It's going to be warmer than average up the west coast, so from California up to Washington State, it's going to be colder than average there, but generally it's going to be a colder than average scene. So a warmer average scene in the west, but generally a cold average scene through most parts of states, especially these central and midwestern states, but also pushing over to the eastern side as well. So widely below average, and particularly so through these breadbasket states, which is not going to be very good news for growers, of course. Precipitation anomalies from the 14th to 22nd of April, largely dry on average in the west. Then through the sort of Rocky Mountain states, it gets a little bit more unsettled, and then it goes drier again through the Midwest into the east. It looks rather wet down in the far southeast as well, especially down towards Florida, interestingly, and rather unusually. So what's causing this cold weather? Let's have a look at the GFS generic charts then. So the main thing that's driving this is a big blocking area of high pressure over Canada that will be forcing down, particularly through these central, midwestern and eastern states, forcing down pretty cold northerly winds. That's the situation today across America. Here's the upper air temperature. So the southern states are relatively warm, but the northern states do look cold, especially the central northern states. As I say, it's pretty warm at the east coast just today, but temperatures will fall tomorrow as this trough of low pressure pushes through, bringing a band of quite heavy rain, and then a drop in temperature as the wind swings in to the north. There may be some snow involved with that. Excuse me. Through to Friday, again the situation remains one that we have blocking up towards Canada, particularly the western side of Canada. Again, just forcing that jet stream down on a northwest-southeast alignment into northern and eastern parts of the states. Again, bring this trough of low pressure through to the far northeast. Again, pulling in these cold northerly winds. And that carries on into the weekend as well. We're not talking about freeze-up conditions here, but nights will be cold and frosty. I mean, we're not talking about, like, severely cold blizzard type weather, but certainly cold for the time of year, night frost and a risk of snow in some of these northern states as well. Out in the west, it does look a lot hotter with the upper air temperature. So there they are for Sunday. See how the heat's extending up the west coast. So California, for example, going to be really warm, I think, over this weekend. But again, you see the trough where we've got these green colours. That's the trough of low pressure digging right way down into southern states, all the way down into Texas. Again, we're not talking about severely cold upper air temperatures, but they are very chilly for the time of the year, and certainly enough to be bringing frost at the very least to a lot of those breadbasket states. Move through into the early part of next week. Its next area of low pressure starts to develop around the Canadian border. That pushes eastwards through southern Canada, and again starts pulling another shot of colder air from the north, and that colder air then transferring from the central states through Midwest and over towards the east. This low pressure might deliver some snow to northeastern parts of America. That means northerly winds could bring snow showers in, of course, from Canada. There's the upper air temperature showing that the cold weather is, if anything, intensifying actually next week, which of course is a warming time of year this in the northern hemisphere, so it's quite unusual to see things getting even colder going further on into April. But down comes the minus 10 Celsius ice firm into the Midwest, and got the minus 15 Celsius ice firm on the Canadian. But at the same time, it remains really hot down in the southwestern part of America. So summer is well and truly establishing in the southwest of America, but through most parts of central, northern, eastern America, it does look pretty cold. Warmer up the eastern seaboard just temporarily, and then these cold upper air temperatures will probably sweep through to the second half of next week. Again, you see how those cold upper air temperatures are sweeping through from Canada into the eastern coastal states. And we do it all over again into the following weekend. This is Saturday the 4th of April, with yet another shot of cold air digging in from Canada with this area of low pressure. At the same time, a ridge out in the west will keep these western states a lot drier and also a lot higher. Look at the upper air temperatures of plus 20 Celsius ice firm is into southwestern parts of America, Arizona, for example. But further northeastwards, we've got minus 15 Celsius ice firm on the USA-Canada border. So it really is a case of a north and east, south and west type split in the next couple of weeks. And always these cold shots coming into northern and east parts of America. There's another one there, for example, on the 26th of April. This one again could bring snow through the Midwest and possibly pushing over towards some of those eastern states as well. Really dramatic split from northeast to southwest. That's how the upper air temperatures look as we end this, or come to the end of this GFS run. And again, they're still cold in the northeast. They're hotter, but not as hot as they have been in the west and in the southwest. As we end the GFS midnight run, again, the heat pushing northwards, surging northwards from Mexico up the western, southwestern side. Still this trough through these breadbasket states, still probably bringing risk of night frost even up to the last night of April. Perhaps going a bit warmer, though, up the east coast, starting to draw some warm air up from the Gulf of Mexico and the tropical Atlantic up the east coast of America, perhaps by the end of the month. But yeah, very delayed spring and cold weather. This is how the ECM is looking, the Euro. All very similar, not just quite as cold with the ECM as like the GFS this morning. That's how the upper air temperatures look for today. So a north-south split, cool in the north, warmest in the south. And then heading on into the weekend, again, we have this ridge out in the west. We have this trough in the east, bringing at the very least very chilly weather to both central and northeastern states. Into next week, again, we're trying to pull this very cold air in from Canada on these northern winds. I'm not sure it's quite as cold with the Euro as like the GFS is, but it's the same sort of idea, really. A ridge out in west will keep western areas warmer and drier. Over in the east and the northeast, we're trying to get these cold shots of northerly winds coming in from Canada. And whilst they may not progress quite as far south into like the central states of America, next week, nevertheless, it's the same idea. Hot in the southwest, coldest in the northeast. Just the ECM kind of limits how far south these cold northerly winds will plunge. You notice very cold air sitting over Canada for the time of the year. So look at CFSV2 before we go. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from 13th, 19th of April. Coming week has high pressure away to the northwest over Canada. Trough low pressure in the east and the northeast. Again, we're probably putting in cold winds through the central, eastern and northeastern states from the north. Week 2 is very similar. It's the 20th, 26th of April. A ridge is out in the west. We'll keep these western states warmer, maybe hotter and drier. Trough of low pressure in the east and the northeast, with a dip in the jet stream. So cold in the Midwest and into the east and the northeast with that trough of low pressure. Week 3 basically keeps the pattern going. The high pressure is around California. Low pressure digging in from the northwest, jet stream on a northwest-southeast alignment as well across the state. So that's probably going to be pretty cold, I would have thought. And then week 4 might show a bit of a change. This is the 4th to the 10th of April. Ridge pulling back in towards the Pacific Ocean. Maybe a trough developing around the northwestern part of America and a ridge in the southeast. That ridge might start to pull up something warmer into those central and eastern states. Look at the temperature anomaly for week 1. 13th to 19th of April. It's going to be warmer than average, hotter than average at the west coast, but generally it's going to be cold than average most parts of America, and especially so in those breadbasket states, which is going to cause all sorts of problems for the growers. Go through to week 2, which is going to be the 20th, 26th of April. Again, it's going to be warm on the western side of America, but cold in the east and in the northeast. Very significantly cold on average for a time of year, 3 degrees or more below normal. Week 4 keeps the east-west split going. Warm on average in west, especially in the southwest, where it does look really hot now. Mind you, in the east, it's going to be much colder again in the east and in the northeast. And then finally, by week 4, 4th to the 10th of May, we may start to come out of this and turn things just generally a lot warmer across many parts of states, with the coldest weather receding away to the extreme northwest. The precipitation anomaly, lastly, from the CFS week 1, 13th, 19th of April, is dry in the northwest and in the northeast, wetter in those southern states. Go through to week 2, which is going to be the 20th, 26th of April. Again, wetter around these Gulf Coast states, otherwise reasonably dry away from the far northeast. Week 3 is looking wetter in the northeast, and of course with cold temperature anomalies, some of this could involve snow as well, late snowfalls. Definitely a distinct possibility. Drier in these southern states. And then lastly, week 4 is going to be the 4th to the 10th of May, and maybe a little bit unsettled in the northeast, drier in these southern and western states. So definitely a delayed spring here across many parts of America, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on what you want, but for the growers and the farmers, you know, it's not good news at all. I think there could be some late season frost, probably late season snowfalls in places as well. And yes, spring delayed through many parts of America in the next 2 or 3 weeks. By the time we get into May, we may start to see a recovery, but looks like April is going to be a long old month to start to lift up out of this cold weather. If you enjoyed USA Forecast, please smash the like button. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you sub to our channel to do another USA Forecast next Wednesday. We're going to be back later on having a look at the JMA seasonal model, and we're also going to have a 10 to 14 dayer for you as well. It's a busy day, GavsWeatherVids today, so keep checking back for all of the updates for this week's USA Forecast. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.